Hey, what's going on? Last rep turns 5 this year. Hey, 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 5 years old, last rep turns, and I'm so excited to be sharing with you guys. Um, just probably a look back at what we've done over the years and the highlights, and hey, maybe even some of the downfalls. Some of this stuff I haven't seen in years, and so I think it's gonna make for a fun video. And yeah, shout out last rep turning 5. They said I couldn't do it, mama. They said I couldn't. Just kidding, but they do say businesses either make or break in like 2 to 3 years. I think that's a fact if you look that up. I'm not entirely sure, but this is gonna be a good year. 2026, last rep. Let's do it. All right, let's get into it. Oh, wow. Okay. First meeting. As you can see, we don't even have the name down yet. We have potential Kratos. I remember that. Kratos, the god of war, I believe it is. I only know that because of the video game. Max out, and then last rep. There it is. Last rep and max out. I think we have some more names on there. Rilla Wait. I don't know who came up with that one. Max out again is on there. I think it's just drawn differently. I think Max Out started to look like the uh, main name that was trying to make it out, but essentially it wasn't, of course. This was actually in the business room of my apartment my senior year. And I remember we met up and spent a whole evening in there probably doing homework and just not realizing that this would actually be a thing 5 years later. So um, that's pretty cool to see that that's been almost 5 years ago. We're trying to figure out kind of fonts we wanted to do. And yet, to be honest, last rep doesn't necessarily have a certain font that it goes with necessarily. And like this one is different from this always last repping down here. So it kind of just, I don't think we have a core font yet, like the Nikes and just certain brands. I feel like they have a certain font that they go with, and haven't had that yet. So this is concept art. I don't know where we got the idea of a gorilla, but I think it perfectly emphasizes the name itself. Last rep being like give your all. You put everything you got into that last rep, whatever it might be. So I think this face just says it all. Like you're screaming, you're yelling, you're trying to get that last rep out. That is like the very first concept art of the logo. Yeah, as you can see, it's like double layers of fur, like no color yet. The mouth is pretty detailed. She did a badass job, man. So shout out to her. Shout out to Riss. This is another one that never made it off the ground, but like this is the gorilla, more of a upper body. Just more concept art. I think that's so dope, man. Seeing stuff like that, seeing you know the ideas we had coming up with back then, and like you know, we never know. I might try to explore that that logo, that type of logo again. This is sort of the logo that is almost it's almost there. We almost got it figured out at this point. The eyes are still white, which we ended up going with red eyes if you're familiar with our original Gorilla Head logo. He has a little bit more of a beard, is or fur or whatever you want to call it. It's still kind of, he hasn't shaved much yet, but still the same kind of mouth, still the same looking face. He has a little bit more shaggy hair up here. We don't think that's quite it yet. Or that's a little too short. I remember saying like that he looks a little more bald. This is another logo that I think we put it on one shirt. It was a gray shirt and it had last rep with the mouth right in front of it. And honestly, this is a badass logo. And I'm determined to bring it back because the detail the artwork, like the attention to detail. Like Riss did a badass job. As you can see, she has her signature there, Marissa Boyd. Um, it's some badass work. So I want to definitely bring it back. I just don't know what kind of design I want to do with it. Don't mind these crude drawings, but this is definitely my handwriting. Yeah, this is just some crude handwriting drawings that I was like trying to figure out how I was gonna design the shirts and what kind of shirts I wanted. So these are some long sleeves. I was gonna have LR in the back. I don't think we've ever done that yet. LR in the back triceps, the gorilla face in the top left corner. Yeah, building the plane as we're flying it. Again, some more designs here. Logo, last rep down the tricep here. The eyes on the back. I'm pretty sure we did something like that on that white shirt. LR. So yeah, just some. That's the gray shirt we ended up doing. Dude, chicken scratch. It might as well be chicken scratch because that looks horrendous. But you see what I was trying to do with it. This might have been the first shipment that we got. April 28th, 2021. So a few months after the first meeting. This is me, I guess, making sure we have all the right inventory. First glance, I'm seeing some gray shirts, some tan hoodies, the white tanks. I have that gray long sleeve lightweight hoodie on, but this is just me chucking the on the right side of me, of course, showing his love and support. Um, yeah, this is a dope picture because this is something I want to show people, 10 years from now. This is me and Bianca. I think this was the first picture we put on Instagram. This is okay. Might as well bring it up now. But this is last rep, but it's put together. There's no space, right? I haven't put the words together ever since my buddy's mom pointed out to me when I was wearing one of these shirts. She was like, "Hey, I thought that said Le Strep." And I said, "Oh, no. It's last rep." And from then on, I'm pretty sure somebody else told me at the gym, like, "Hey, does that say Le Strep?" So just a little insider for you. With the freaking Le Strep on me. I think I was in California or something, but the crisp logo. See how that logo turned out? Red eyes. Just a badass logo, man. No more Le Strep, though. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, this is the very first photo shoot we had at our apartment when I was going to school still. And I'm a little embarrassed by it because this is so low quality, so like obviously don't know what the hell I'm doing. To where, yeah, to be honest, all we did was I think I ordered this white backdrop, hung it up on our apartment wall in our living room, and then just got the camera. I don't know what the light situation's going on with this, but the shadow's bad, like didn't know how to pose. This is the shirt I was talking about with the mouth logo. The screaming gorilla logo. Still says Le Strep. Still says Le Strep. You can't unsee it once you see it. Yeah, I've never went back to this design. I'm gonna figure out a cool design for it. Shirt's all wrinkled. Terrible angle of a picture. Ooh, the little eyes on the back. These sold pretty well too, if I remember. These shirts ended up selling out as well, but terrible angle. You could see the tag, like the lighting's all off. This is me just being a harsh critic to myself. This is the first drop, the website drop. So we pushed past the initial stage of actually putting words to action, you know? The first round of orders about to be sent. Can we play it? It's stupid. That's so stupid, bro. All right. Me just being a dumbass. But those are the first orders we sent out because I don't know what that's about, but we had people actually order on the website dropping. I think in my mind, I was like, okay, this might be something. You know, this might be something unique. This might be something to build on. First official photo shoot. Shout out to my boy Orlando. Yeah, we just went out to this local, I don't know if it was like a high school or something, but got an actual professional photographer. I split up last rep finally. So no more Lestrip. I don't think we had any like bottoms yet, any women's leggings or sweats or anything like that. That was an official picture we put up on the website. Pretty dope, man. Pretty freaking dope seeing that. September 6, 2021. It was a lot of work, man. I had to balance school with work and doing last reps, so it was a lot. It was a lot to be doing, but I'm glad I stuck with it. I'm glad to still be doing it. I think we went back to Orlando's garage and just took some more photos. This is the official banner that I made because I knew I was about to start doing pop-ups and I needed something to show like last rep is here, hanging up in my old apartment. All right, first pop-up ever. Such a fun experience, but a learning experience. Obviously, in my mind, I don't know how pop-ups work at this point. I don't know how I'm supposed to conduct ourselves, like how, I'm setting up. I'm doing in-person sales, so this is all new to me. This is all new to Bianca. I had the banner as the tablecloth. I don't know what's going on there. This is a sweater I never came out with. A long sleeve I never came out with. I have that in my closet. I don't know why I didn't bring that up. This is a design I did that never came out. This is this hoodie that me and Bianca had. I like the concept of it, but like it's not what it needs to be, I wanted to show like the mouth eating last rep. I think that was my thought behind it. This is me and my brother Corey, another entrepreneur of the family. Him with his Ans. Shout out Ans. If you followed this brand for a while now, Ans is a frequent collaborator of Last Rep. So we're doing side by side pop-ups, and I'm pretty sure he's the one that put me on to doing a pop-up out there in Arlington. This is the very first in-person customer of Last Rep. This lady right here. We decided to flex for the gram, and yeah, man, God bless her heart. She believed in me and the brand, and I think she ended up buying for a granddaughter, something like that. But it was really cool having her support, man. So shout out to her wherever you are. I think this is the very first hoodie I did with embroidered LR. It was snowing outside. Such a vibe. February 3rd, 2022. So I'm officially a year in at this point. Good Lord. I look like I ate weights back then, bro. I'm nowhere near being that big right now. Dude, did I eat fucking cows for a living? Sweatpants. First sweats we came out with. I don't even have the shirt anymore. Like most last rep stuff I have still. This shirt I don't even have anymore. It had last rep going down the spine. Don't have it anymore. I don't know where it is. Very first pop-up at the gym I worked at. I worked at Texas Family Fitness out in Louisville. and some of my coworkers in this picture actually. You can see that banner in the background. You can see some new stuff here popping up. I started playing around with more fonts and designs for Last Rep. Okay, July 21st, 2022. First pump cover I did. These are some shorts I did with that new logo I was showing you. But this is actually leading up to the very first professional commercial we did. Women's set right here. Shout out Ashley. Being there modeling some women's stuff. Yeah, man, just more, just another collection I did that kind of elevated Last Rep as a brand. This was like when Last Rep was for sure starting to build the most momentum it had ever had. Yeah, things were moving at this point for sure, and you're gonna see why I'm saying all of this, because I hit a dead end for sure, and this is like, I think a lot of business owners don't talk about hitting those dead ends. I think they just talk about the successes and the highlights of the brand, but you're gonna see that I hit like a roadblock and I had to pivot. Just some behind the scenes at the commercial. Shout out to Solomon and Robbie, bro. They changed Last Rep forever. Mad Light Films changed Last Rep forever for sure. This is a still photo of the commercial I'm about to show you that took Last Rep to a whole nother level. Some more still photos. If you know my website, this is the first thing you see on my website is me elevating and just going crazy, man. I gotta tell you the story behind that. Yes, sir. Yeah, so that was a short version of the very first commercial Last Rep did. That changed the game. That absolutely changed the game and brought so much more traffic to Last Rep as a brand. There goes the Mad Light Films crew right there. Solomon and Robbie. Shout out to them. The way I met these guys, I was working out at one of the Texas Family Fitness gyms where I worked at. Put my business cards up at the front desk of this gym. Hey, same very night, I'm working out. I get a tap on my shoulder as these guys. They say, hey, we'd love to, I forget what they said. This was like 4 years ago, but hey, initially they're like, hey, we want to shoot some content with you. I'm like, okay, cool. That sounds great. One of the first things they tell me is, we want to make it look like you levitated. And I'm like, bro, what? Like, you want to make it look like I levitated? Hearing that, I was like, I love the ambition. I'm like, whatever we got to do, let's do it. A few meetings after that, we plan it out. They set it up. They find out the spot to do it in. We do it on a shoestring budget. I think I paid them like $100. They ended up using the commercial to put on their portfolio, and now Mad Light Films is going on doing huge stuff. I can't thank them enough. I ended up meeting up with them again a couple months later, do a quick little photo shoot. Last sipping games, I'm not gonna be too much on this, but this is when I didn't really have a direction for the brand. I put this out April 19th, 2023. Basically what it was drinking a bunch of beer and doing some exercises. What?
Yeah, I've been drinking beer since I was about 17.
Bro, I don't know what happened. I was fit. I don't look like these pictures anymore. These videos, I don't look like that. This is us, everybody that came out and support Last Sipping Games, man. Had some people from Ann's come, shout out to them. Some other friends came out and supported, man. That was such a good time that day. The Milk Mile. This is just me like trying to see like This is the momentum I was talking about. Like, I built up so much momentum off that commercial, and I was like, okay, how do I keep this going? So I was looking for ideas on how to separate myself from other brands, and drinking a bunch of beer and doing fitness, and then drinking a bunch of milk and doing a mile. I don't know if that's how I want to, represent Last Rep going forward. I appreciate the content we got out of it. It was fun, but after a while, it's just kind of like, okay, well, this is novelty. This is what I essentially shouldn't be doing. More pop-ups, man. This is still when I was getting clothes from overseas, and that was pretty risky because I spent a lot of money just getting inventory over here and getting like samples and stuff, and like I never knew how the clothing was gonna end up fitting, or how the logo or the design of the clothing was gonna work out. And at this point, October 16th, 2023, this is 2.5 years into doing this brand. Momentum has kind of slowed at this point. I want to say the online presence kind of died down a little bit, not gonna lie. I wasn't getting online orders like I used to at this point, for sure. But still doing pop-ups. Wow, this is a big jump. I'm about to come back to that later. Are we already at that? Okay. Okay, yeah, I see. There's a reason why there's a big jump between... Okay, October 16th, 2023 was this. This is then March 29th, 2025, so a year and a half later. Me being transparent with everybody that's watching this video and has stuck with Last Rep for 5 years. There's ups and downs in having a small business, and again, a lot of things online is win-win-win. This is how I've won. This is how you can win having a small business. This is, I'm not gonna say get rich quick, but a lot of that's how you get people's attention nowadays, and it's been like that forever with social media. It's like just the wins, and I feel like I've always carried myself with this brand of being transparent and being like, you're not always gonna win, and I'm gonna show you something very vulnerable to me in this brand. You'll see in a second. But here's some more pop-ups. Shout out my boy Tim of Black Rabbit Volleyball. He let me do some pop-ups at his spot in Louisville. Another drop of mine, Crimson Fall. Another drop, the Colors of Autumn collection. So as you can see, I'm bringing like more colors to Last Rep, but again, pivoting, trying to see what works, see what doesn't. This ended up being great for Last Rep. This is the logo I've kind of been sticking with for the past few months, and it's that like simplistic, it's on my hat logo that everybody's kind of making the switch to as far as fashion and at least activewear brands. Like you have the ALOs, even though I have my gripes with ALO. They're out here charging y'all $180 for a sweater that is nowhere near worth the quality of the sweater. Y'all charge $34 for some socks. What's up with that? Bro, y'all shit is not good, and y'all are out here robbing people. But people also on the other end are paying for it, so whatever. But yeah, this is a simplistic logo. Some more stuff I was trying to do. Some more sweats. Those sweats are really comfortable, by the way. But this is my recent stuff, man. The hat I have on right now. 1,500 follower giveaway. So yeah, we just recently hit 1,500 followers. I meant to show y'all, I don't know why the picture wasn't in here, but we had a 500 follower giveaway around that same time I did that commercial with when I was saying the momentum was building. And so you see how long it took me to build 1,000 more followers on Instagram, just because I was trying to play true to myself. I was trying to balance living a life as well as doing Last Rep as much as I could. Also, it wasn't able to pay the bills like I wanted it to, and I'm still looking to make that happen. And custom made piece for one of our followers that won. This is a 5-year hoodie. Shout out to 5 years last rep. Like I said, I did a 4-year anniversary hoodie. Those sold out. So I'm gonna do a 5-year, and this is essentially what it's gonna look like. So for the people who are interested, I'm thinking about doing some sweats too, something like that. People are interested in doing or seeing this, they're gonna know about it before anybody else, before I make the drop. All right, to wrap up this video, again, I want to be honest with y'all. I want to be upfront. Starting a business, a small business, is no joke. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of man hours. It's a lot of trial and error. My very first time I tried to do women's leggings 5 years ago, and you know, saying this now seems stupid, but back then I just ordered a bunch. I just ordered like 15 pairs of leggings, not knowing how they looked, how they fit, and I ended up tossing them all out because they were terrible quality. I spent hundreds of dollars on those leggings, and I tossed them out because they just weren't usable. I wasn't comfortable with selling them to customers because I knew they were bad quality. Now you do a sample. In my mind, I'm like, it's so obvious. Obviously, you do a sample before you sell something. This is the trial and errors I'm talking about. But enough of me rambling. This is a screenshot of my Shopify account. I didn't start selling until like that summer. This is about 6 months into selling Last Rep. So 2022, this is my sales for online, nearly $2,500. The year of 2021, when I was selling for 6 months, I made like $1,700. You know, not knowing what I'm doing and how to operate a small business, I was happy with that. I was so proud of that number, $2,500. I was so happy of that for that number. And I'm like, well, it's obviously only up from here, right? A good rule of thumb is like you obviously constantly make more and more money each year. And I don't know what kind of profit I made. I was for sure still in the red. Like I had spent a lot of money just to make $2,500. Just seeing $2,500 of revenue, people spent $2,500 on Last Rep. I was more than happy. I was so proud of it. Probably $4,000 at this point, being the year and a half I spent building Last Rep. I was more than happy with it. I say all that. 2023, I made $67, bro. This is me being upfront with you. I made $67. Bro, a complete night and day. Seeing that number, I'm like, what's going on? What was going on during that? I don't even know what to say. Like, I remember putting in work. I remember trying my best to keep Last Rep going, and surely like a few months into 2023, I was like, okay, I need to figure something out. This isn't really going as well as I thought. And I make it all the way to December 31st, 2023, and I've sold $67 worth of Last Rep. Now, I might have done pop-ups during that year too. I'm sure I made a couple hundred over there. But this is, in a business mindset, you failed at this point. 2 orders for 2023 online. I remember being like halfway through the year, and still I don't think I had my first order for the year online. And I remember I was out with my friend, and we're getting ice cream or something, and out of nowhere I got a notification from Shopify saying that someone had ordered from my store. And I was like, bro, for a while I thought my account just wasn't working. It had been that long since I had gotten an order, and like, I don't know, man. I just remember it being very dark times, and like a lot of people at that point seeing that number, 2 total orders for a whole year. It's not 0, but it's 2. Would have gave up. And if you didn't think that was crazy, 2024 was a better year, but only by $100. $177 for 2024. January 1st to December 31st, 2024, I made $177. Again, I probably did pop ups and made a couple orders there, but online I made $250. 2 years of not an online presence. I'm still posting to Instagram, but I want to say I think this is when I was doing like the milk challenge and the last sipping games. Like I was doing fun, unique content, yes, but like it wasn't generating to the business. Like it wasn't helping out the business per se. I wasn't making sales how I needed to keep the business running. No, thankfully my overhead for the business is not much at all. Like I do most of my inventory out of my house now. Like I don't have a brick and mortar that I have to pay rent on. Like none of that. I just do basically I pay for my membership for Shopify and I run ads. 6 orders for 2024. So 8 total orders for 2 years. Those 2 years are definitely enough to put somebody to rest for like wanting to keep their dreams of business alive, right? Come back to say 2,500 again. Again, I'm not making tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's still very much like not a sustainable business yet, but like I'm still trying. I think that's what matters is I'm still trying, I'm still going. That's what I made online for 2025. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit y'all and be like, this is how you make 10, 20, $30,000 in a month, because although that may be true, it's like the 1% of 1% that's doing that, and like the other 99% are not gonna be truthful with y'all, and I'm being truthful with y'all. And like I'm sure a lot of those other people are bullshitting too, just trying to get clicks for their videos, saying they made that much money. In reality, it's not. That's not how that shit works. It's a grind. It's a process, man. It's a marathon. And so I'll just end that with this. I know it got serious towards the end, but I need to wrap this up. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to Last Rep turning 5 this year. I'm so happy and grateful for the people that helped me along the way get to this point. I'm so thankful for all the positive feedback I get from people. I'm hoping I no longer have to go through 2023 and 2024 again. I'm hoping it's only up from here. I've learned so much about running a small business, so much about the fitness industry, so much about the clothing industry. And I'm hoping I could take that knowledge and build Last Rep into something bigger one day, and it be a household name, hopefully. Be on the lookout for 5-year anniversary hoodie. Have some more drops in mind, have some more content ideas. Go shop this hat. This is a nice ass hat. Yeah, Last Rep, man. Last Rep, Last Rep.